What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and a couple days ago I asked you guys on my social media what you thought the top 10 best Air Jordans to release in 2018 were. I had already created my own list, but when I read some of your comments, I really started to change things around and really made it more of a list that we created together than something that I just came up with. So this is a top 10 list created by you all about the top 10 best Air Jordans to release this year. Before we get into the list, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet. Also make sure to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at Real Seth Fowler, because I'm definitely planning to do more videos like this and I'd love to have your input. I'm gonna be honest, some of the shoes on this list definitely surprised me. They were great releases, but shoes that I just didn't think people were gonna put in their top 10s. And then there were other releases, one in particular that I definitely thought should have been in the top 10, but no one even mentioned it. But jumping right into the list, the first shoe is an honorable mention. The reason this shoe is an honorable mention is because literally no one said anything about this sneaker on the YouTube community tab, on Twitter, on Instagram. No one mentioned it. And that really blew my mind because it was such a popular sneaker when it first released and people were really hyped on it. And that shoe is the gold toe Air Jordan 1s. This shoe is a very similar sneaker to the Complex Con Top 3s. It featured a patent leather upper with gold, black, and white detailing, and overall I thought it was an extremely clean sneaker. Because the Complex Con Top 3s were so limited, it was really cool to see Jordan Brand release a sneaker that was so similar that allowed everyone else to have the same sort of shoe. I really liked that sneaker and I was never able to get my hands on it, but I still think it's a great sneaker nonetheless. But now let's move into the top 10. Number 10, the Air Jordan 3 Katrina. This shoe originally released back in 2006 as a charity auction exclusive. Proceeds from that auction went to benefit the victims of Hurricane Katrina, and up until this year there was only a very limited number of those sneakers floating around. But for whatever reason, Jordan Brand decided to give this shoe a wider release, which actually pissed some people off. In my personal opinion, I think it was fine because the money did benefit a good cause at the end of the day. However, I definitely understand the point of view of the people who actually bought the shoes because now their sneakers aren't as special anymore. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold and my voice is shot. The overall quality of the wider release is actually pretty impressive. It's a lot better than I was expecting. And even though this isn't an OG colorway of the Air Jordan 3, it's still an exceptionally clean sneaker. Number 9, the Levi's Air Jordan 4. This shoe released back in January and later in the middle of the year had 2 more colorways come out, but the original blue jean colorway is by far my favorite because of all the little details that aren't present on the white and black versions. One thing I've got to say about this shoe is that you can't really wear it with jeans, obviously, but it definitely is an extremely well-constructed sneaker, and I love the fact the more you wear it, the more beat up it gets and the more distressed it looks. Just like a pair of Levi's jeans. The attention to detail on this sneaker is also really impressive. This original blue jean colorway definitely commands an insane resale price, so if you're trying to grab it, you're gonna have to shell out. Number 8, the JTH Air Jordan 3s. This year we saw Jordan Brand do something very different and very cool with their Jordan 3 line. They took Tinker Hatfield's original sketch for the Air Jordan 3, which is the first Air Jordan that he designed, and actually turned it into a real sneaker. To be fair, the shoe does look pretty similar to the regular Air Jordan 3, however there are some small details like the Nike swoosh and the Nike branding on the medial side which make it stand out. The JTH Air Jordan 3 is Justin Timberlake's take on the Tinker Hatfield Air Jordan 3, hence the name JTH, or Justin Timberlake Tinker Hatfield, and so far we've gotten 2 colorways of the sneaker. The first was the Super Bowl white cement colorway that he debuted during the halftime show, and the second is the bio beige colorway that released with the suede upper just a couple weeks ago. Out of all the Tinker Hatfield 3s that have released, I think this is my favorite just because it's that white cement look, but I also like the subtle 3M Nike swoosh and the Nike Air branding on the heel. Some people really weren't fans of the Tinker 3s, but I think the JTH 3s are a really great middle ground because they still have that Tinker detailing, but they also have a very Air Jordan 3 iconic look. Number 7, the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 1. I was really surprised by the amount of you guys that actually really liked this sneaker and voted to put it on the list. You guys know I love this sneaker, but the amount of people who just don't like it because they don't like this distressed upper is pretty surprising. So when I saw that many people voting for the Nigel Sylvester 1s, I was kind of blown away. Nigel Sylvester is a pro BMX biker who rose to prominence with his point of view BMX videos, and the shoe he created was meant to replicate the worn and scuffed up look of his Air Jordan 1s. I love the concept of this shoe. I also really like the colorway of the sneaker, and surprisingly, the leather used on this shoe is actually pretty great. Number 6, the OffWhite Air Jordan 1s. This year, Nike gave us a lot of Off-White releases, everything from Prestos to Vapor Maxes to 97s. We even got 2 colorways of the Air Jordan 1s. The first colorway to release was the European exclusive triple white version of the shoe, which I have right back behind me on my shelf. Unfortunately, it's a size 11.5 and there's just no way I'm gonna fit it. But Virgil also gave us one of my favorite colorways, the UNC Off-White 1s. Both sneakers featured the signature Off-White detailing and of course the Off-White zip tie. And as you would expect, both shoes are highly coveted and command insane resale prices. Last year, the Off-White Jordan 1 was a lot of people's sneaker of the year. This year, however, I think because we've seen so many of them, it's probably not going to be as high on the list. Still definitely a dope sneaker though. Number 5, the Air Jordan 11 Concord. This is one of the most anticipated releases of the year. The Concord 11s are one of the most classic Air Jordans to ever release, and the fact that it's coming out again with its OG patent leather cut is very exciting. The last couple times the Concords released, I totally missed out, so I've never actually owned a pair, so this is finally my chance, finally my time to have a pair, and I can't be more excited. The Concord 11s are this year's Air Jordan Christmas release and drop sometime in the beginning of December. Number 4, the Shadow Air Jordan 1s. For me, this is personally one of my favorite releases of the entire year, and I know it's not as high on the list for a lot of people just because it's a shoe that's already come out before, it's not a brand new silhouette, blah, 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 blah. I just think it's incredible. I'm a huge fan of Jordan 1s. It's my favorite sneaker. It's one of the best, if not the best sneaker to just ever release. And this colorway is such a clean, simple version of the shoe. What's not to like? Not only that, but the leather quality on this particular colorway is actually pretty decent. You've got some pretty nice soft tumbled leather on the toe box and on the Nike swoosh. And even the black leather areas have a nice grain to them. A super dope shoe and one of my favorite Air Jordan 1 colorways. Number 3, the Travis Scott Air Jordan 4. This was a lot of people's pick, and I can totally understand why. It's a super clean colorway, one that we haven't seen a lot of on the Air Jordan 4. The material usage is pretty nice, however it does crease very quickly. And if you're a Travis Scott fan, you've got some really nice Cactus Jack detailing on the heel. My personal favorite thing about the sneaker is the paint splatter that can be found on the lace eyelets and on the heel tab. And like I said, the colorway is awesome. It's like subtle, but it still stands out, which I think is really cool. There have been leaked images of other colorways like a purple and a brown. However, no one's really sure if those are going to be friends and family only or will eventually get a wider release. For now, I'm happy with this colorway. Out of the 3, this one was my favorite, but I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that purple. Number 2, the Bread Toe Air Jordan 1s. For a lot of people, including myself, this is the best non-OG Air Jordan colorway to release this year, hands down. It has some of the color blocking of the black toe colorway, but switches things up a little bit by changing the toe from white to red. And you would think that subtle change doesn't make too big of a difference, but in my opinion, this shoe looks even better than the black toe. When the shoe first released, a lot of people thought that it might be a pretty easy cop. However, that was not the case, and it was extremely difficult to grab, and because of that, resale prices skyrocketed. The leather quality on this shoe is decent. It's not incredible, but it's definitely not bad. And even though this isn't like a new silhouette or anything like that, it is still a new colorway, and for a lot of people, this is their sneaker of the year. Maybe not everybody, but some people. Number 1, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. This shoe is number 1 on the list for a reason. This is so many people's favorite Air Jordan colorway ever, it just couldn't not be on the top of the list. I think the BC3s are the best Air Jordan 3s to ever release. Maybe not the best Air Jordans to ever release, but the best 3s. And you definitely can't go wrong with this black tumbled leather upper and elephant print detailing. One major standout about this 2018 retro is that it actually featured the Nike Air branding on the heel tab. I don't know what it is about this branding. Maybe it's just the fact that it's more true to the OG, but for whatever reason, this has a lot of people drooling. The Black Cement 3 is one of the easiest sneakers to wear with any outfit because of its excellent color blocking and super subtle detailing. There's a reason this shoe is at the top. Because this shoe was pretty widely available, resale prices aren't that crazy, but in a couple years when everyone's pairs are worn out and DS pairs are hard to find, I can definitely see resale prices going up. But that pretty much wraps up the list for today. I'd love to know your thoughts on the order of these sneakers and whether you agreed with it or didn't agree with it, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.